into the sternum. So I want you to just, let me back up a little bit. Just let your legs be out long in front of you with soft toes. So just imagine you're facing the back of your reformer towards the tower, and grab your hand weights if you'd like. Otherwise, you don't need any hand weights. I'm just bringing my knuckles together at about heart center. I have roughly about a foot of space between my chest and my weights or my hands. I have my elbows just a little bit lower than the height of my shoulders, just to make sure that those shoulders don't start coming up towards my ears. So the higher the elbows, usually the higher the shoulders get. From here, let's take a big breath in. Find some length in our spine through the back of the body, and on your exhale, start to hollow out your tummy. And just tip your hips back and start to let part of your waistband come to the mat. And for some, you might not go very far, and then just come forward back to where you started from. Okay, so again, just kind of depends on where you are in your Pilates practice and how you're feeling about your body today, where you want to take this exercise. But keeping the shape of the arms is important. So we're hollowing out that tummy on the exhale and starting to just tip the hips and the pelvis back. Maybe you can go a little bit further, really trying to get your bottom underneath your hips, trying to get the back of your waistband down, and then resisting to come forward. So using those abdominals to really resist against your body weight as you start to come forward. So I'm down here, I'm drawing my navel down towards my spine. I keep trying to hollow out my tummy, resisting against my own body as I come forward. Let's do one more. Big inhale to prepare, and on the exhale, just starting to roll back. Maybe this time, I'm feeling strong enough to let my arms go to the side, palms go back, and dive forward like I'm coming through a window pane. Really just relax over your legs. I'm going to take a big stretch here, pressing my palms up towards the ceiling, and then circling my arms around. My palms stay facing away from each other till they come to connect over my toes or over my feet, and then I'll restack my spine up. Let's just do that variation one more time. And again, if this is a little more advanced or out of your comfort zone, just stick with that first roll back that we were doing. So just starting to roll back. Once I get to where I feel like I can really just support myself, try to just get that lower part of your back down. My arms go out to the side, palms are facing back behind me. I'm diving my head forward, getting those shoulders away from my ears, and pressing my palms up. I feel those triceps engage, and circle my arms around so that they meet over my feet, and I restack my spine and sit up nice and tall, and I finish exactly where I started. So let's go to rowing 3. We're going to go from the chest. So let's bring the hand weights to about kind of where your bottom ribs are, your bottom floating ribs. You can kind of bring your hands down and feel for them. And really reach your elbows back as you sit up nice and tall. I'm going to just slightly tip forward, just ever so slightly. But I keep my chest, lifted and my gaze out in front of me. From here, my arms are going to reach forward and up on the diagonal, but those shoulders stay nice and quiet. Then I'll tap my mat as I grow a little bit taller, and then reach those arms all the way up, circle them around, bend my elbows, and come right back to where I started from. Let's add a breath with this. So it's an inhale, forward and up. Exhale, tap the mat, grow even taller. Inhale to lengthen, circle those arms up, lift the chest as the arms circle, bend your elbows, and come back home. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Let's go to rowing 4 from the hips. So now all we need to do is flex our feet. You should see my toes appearing on the bottom of your screen. And I bring my hands down to the outsides of my hips now. So bend your elbows to allow those shoulders to stay out of your ears, and really think about hugging that midline of your body. So the inner thighs and the heels are just squeezing together. Now from here, our inhale gives us a nice big preparation again. So finding that length. On the exhale, start to round forward as you reach those weights down towards your heels and really try to fold over your legs. So I'm pushing my hips back towards the wall behind me, hollowing out my tummy. Now from here, just retrograde what you just did and let those weights of your hands drag along your mat or your carpet and bring your hands back in. So this is one way to execute the exercise. So we'll take a big breath in to prepare, and then exhale, you round forward and reach your arms long along the outsides of your legs. Try to see if you can reach towards your heels or past, pressing your hips back. Try to keep those shoulders from coming up towards your ears here, so glide them back down into your pockets, and then retrograde and just come right back to the outsides of your hips. Okay, so that's option A. If you want to keep moving forward in this exercise and challenge yourself a little bit more, let's take that big breath to prepare, and on the exhale, you're rounding forward, reaching those arms nice and long. Now make sure your shoulders are connected. Think about an extension or a swan and start to lift from that upper back. And imagine you're keeping your carriage nice and still. The arms circle, the chest lifts, and you just glide your hands back to the outsides of your hips. So it's an inhale and then an exhale to round forward. Reach those arms long. Try to reach past your heels if you can. Really flexing through the feet and then connecting the shoulders. And imagine you're keeping that carriage nice and still as you come up and then circle all the way around. Let's go one more time. That just feels so good on the hamstrings, at least on my hamstrings. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale to come forward. Inhale all the way up. Hug that midline. Try to keep those ribs in. And circle around and come all the way back home. Good. Let's cross our legs. Now here, if you have trouble sitting with your legs crossed and you don't have a ball or something at home, you could grab a pillow. Okay, so Craig, if you're watching this, grab a pillow. All right, so we're gonna go right into shave the head. So I will bring my weights to the back of my head, and you could keep them up kind of high towards the top of your head in the back, or you could kind of bring them down just a little bit further, whatever feels right for you. I'm hinging forward a little bit at my hips, so as if the wind is on my back, trying to keep my ribs pulled in and the back of my neck long as I gaze out at the floor way out in front of me. From here, I'll inhale to shave those arms forward and up, keeping my shoulders from coming up to my ears, and then exhale to shave back down. So as I'm shaving up, I'm thinking about my ribs and my hips kind of pressing back to the wall behind me. And now as I come down, my elbows just gently reaching back towards the wall that's behind me. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's do one more. Extend those arms up one more time, just so you can open for hug a tree, and let's cross our legs the other way. So here I'm sitting straight up and down. My shoulders are right over my hips. I'm gonna shake up my shoulder for a second. Allow my elbows to be just a little bit lower than the height of my shoulders. And from here, I'll take a big breath in. On my exhale, I'm gonna hug my tree. Inhale to open. Exhale to hug my tree. So the trunk of my body is completely still. And think about kind of leading the movement as if the bottoms of the weights, or your pinkies if you're not using weights, are kind of leading that movement of hugging the tree in. You can feel those shoulder blades move away from each other when you hug the tree, and you can feel them come towards each other on the center of your back as you open. Let's do two more. Exhale to hug that tree, and inhale, and exhale. Good. We'll set the